Hi everyone, Barbara Rankin here with Sin City Stamps. We have a new sponsor this month and they are Gelli Arts, the makers of those wonderful and fun jelly plates. If you have never seen or heard of a jelly plate, then you are in for a treat. They come in a variety of sizes from 3x5 to a great big 12x14. The first thing you want to do is open up the plastic package that the plate comes in, but don't throw it away. You will want to store your jelly plate in this for future use. Next, remove the plastic covering both sides of your plate and place the plate down onto a piece of clean paper. I like to store my plastic sheets that come with my jelly plate inside my little box so that I don't lose them. And then you can just sit your jelly plate down and it's not going to go anywhere. It has a little bit of stickiness to it. The first thing I want to do is make a background. So I'm going to add a little bit of paint. This is not expensive paint, it's just some inexpensive craft paint. And a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going to take my brayer, which is really the best way to coat your jelly plate and get a nice coat with it. And I like to go back and forth in different directions. I think it gives me a nice even coat. And then I will take this brick stencil from Sin City Stamps, and I'm going to take a little bit of this Spice Tan acrylic paint, and without cleaning my brayer off, I'm going to pick some of this up on my brayer. And give it a nice coat. And the nice thing about these jelly plates is, as you can see, the stencil is adhering nicely to the plate, so it's not going to move around, and you're going to get very little, if any, seepage, which is always a problem when you're using a stencil. So I'm going to pull the stencil off, and you can see my design, and then I'm going to lay down a piece of black cardstock over that and just give it a gentle rub, and it's actually going to print that image onto my black paper, which, as I know most of you know, is pretty hard to get a nice crisp image on black paper. And there you have it. Isn't that wonderful? Nice shabby look. I love it. Let me show you quickly how you can how easy it is to clean the jelly plate. I've just got a baby wipe here, and you see how easy the ink paint comes off. And if you have any dried paint around the edges, you can just continue to wipe that off with your baby wipe. You can also just use spray a little water and remove it with a paper towel if you don't have a baby wipe. I just think baby wipes are pretty convenient for this. And there you have it. Okay. Instead of writing instructions, I thought maybe I'll just show you how I put this card together, since I'm already doing a video. And here is my finished card. A funny thing happened on the way to making my video. I somehow forgot to press the record button, I believe, because I actually showed you with these actual pieces as I was putting it together, but I can't find that portion. So I'm going to show you with some other pieces how I got to this point. In the meantime, let me just leave this to the side and see if you can still see it while I work. The first thing I did was, well, let's just get this out of the way. The first thing I did was I had a 5 by 6.5 black card that was already pre-made. You can certainly use black cardstock and score and fold your own. And I just used a piece of print cardstock. I always ink my edges and give them kind of a grungy look to them before adhering it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on here to just give you the idea. I adhered it down to my card base. Now, then I used, I stamped the bingo card from the Halloween Bingo, Sin City Stamps Halloween Bingo plate. And I used Brilliance lightning black ink. It has a bit of a shine. I'm not sure you can see it. It's not showing up really well on screen, but in person it's just a very faint glittery, glimmery look. That's kind of fun for Halloween. And what I did was I began outlining the web. As you can see, I started here, and I just used this Pico embellisher, which is similar to just a dimensional paint that has a very fine line tip. It's really very nice paint to use. And if I go back and show you my finished project, you'll see how it gives us a bit of dimension to that web. I also darkened the letters bingo. It just didn't feel right when I was looking at the card, so I just used some black. I used a black pencil first and went over the letters, and then a glitter pen over top that. You can see there is a little bit of glittery there. I just liked bringing out the word a lot better, and I didn't care that the bingo card itself isn't all that dark, and that was fine because I wanted it to sort of recede into the background anyway. So after doing that, I took one of these edge distressors and just distressed the edges. Came back with that same black ink pad and inked it up and got it all nice and inky and grungy on the side. And then what I did was, before adhering it down, I decided to make it a pocket. And so let me go back for a moment. I decided to make a tag with my piece that I had made the background with the jelly plate, the brick background, if you remember that. It looked very similar to this. And I just die cut it with a Sizzix die, a very old Sizzix. It's a scallop. I think you can see the shape of the die. But of course you don't need to have a die to make a tag. A tag can be made anyway, and just snipping the corners off would be sufficient. But I didn't want my tag to go too far down because, as you can see, it's shorter than the end of the purple cardstock, so I didn't want it to go way down in there. So what I did, let me show you. Before I adhered it, I made a pocket, and I took that tag that I made, and I just laid it, and I figured out where I want, how far up I want that to stick, to stay above and no more, and how far I don't want it to go down. And then I took another piece of tape and placed it along the bottom section there. And that way, when I adhere all of this down, it was not, the tag isn't going to go past that piece of adhesive. So I adhered that down after grunging up the edges. I used the 2 bottles that are from Halloween Takes Flight, stamped them. I inked them up with some distress inks, probably orange and a little bit of yellow, or even a little bit of green in there. Covered them with 3D crystal lacquer, because that's one of my favorite things to do to a bottle. It's the most realistic thing I think you can do to a piece of paper if you want to make it look like a bottle, a glass bottle. And then I adhered it. I adhered both of those. I don't have any more samples of those, but I adhered them down here at the bottom, as you can see. And this one here is completely flat on the paper, and this one I used a pop dot just to bring it forward on the card. And then now I can go back to my tag. After trimming my tag, which, as I said, looked like this, I stamped with black ink. I stamped my Sin City Stamps tombstone on there, and directly on there. And then I used some pencils, colored pencils, to color it in. And I decided that since I can see through everything, I thought, well, this can be my ghostly tombstone. You know, it only appears when the timing is right. And it's one of those spooky, eerie nights out in the graveyard. So, you know, let your imagination run away. So that then you can put back into the pocket there. And then I thought I still needed something else, so I found these little skull charms. And I thought, well, they look like little bingo tokens. I'm playing bingo. I'm not doing too well. I'm not winning anything, but that's okay. That's pretty much the way things go anyway. So there it is, my Halloween bingo card, using my Gelli plate and my Sin City stamps and a lot of imagination. So thanks for stopping by. Please make sure to visit Sin City Stamps to see all the new products that are coming out. They do have some new stamp lines coming out. Our designers are working hard at bringing more fun and inspirational products for you to purchase. And so have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed my project, and be sure to stop by the blog and check out the rest of the artists this month. They're all going to be using the Gelli plate, and we're going to have so many ideas for you to use a Gelli plate. I'm sure you're going to want to get one to use with your stamps. So thanks for stopping by, and have a great weekend.